Hey y'all, it's Xander, and welcome to the video. Today we'll be starting a new series called Streak Sundays, where we try to get the longest kill streak possible without dying in PvP. For the first objective, I think we'll try to hit a 25 kill streak and hit the tactical nuke.
Nuke incoming!
We will be starting the series with 132 kills and 38 deaths. The objective would be to get all the way to 157 kills without dying. However, any deaths will reset the kill streak, and I'll have to show all deaths no matter how embarrassing they are. Additionally, I'll be bringing some risk with me. I hope this will give me incentives so that I don't want to die and will help keep my motivation at a maximum peak so I can keep the kill streak going. The only issue with bringing so much risk is that I'll look like a feast and everyone is going to try to rush me. My first fight to start off the series is a level 79 range tank, so the maximum level I can fight in a PvP world, and someone with very high defense, meaning I'll be very inaccurate with my hits. The name of the game here is just make sure I get my eats right. Usually range tanks don't have high KO potential, and just try to get as much DPS in as I can. I'm trying to be sneaky there. I go for the one tick, but ultimately hit 0-0 with the Jamal. Now I'm just biding my time for a good arrow, so I can go in for the whack stack, and just hopefully stack them out. Take off the armor, put it on, and boom, there it is. 22 stack.
Wait till you see the. No, 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 no.
You can see my second fight here is versus not a bot, a level 76 pure with the Anguish. Definitely some high DPS coming from this range only pure. They got dragon knives, they have the Anguish. I'm guessing some prayer levels, and potentially even 99 range of this combat. Ooh, and you see the blister there, so you know he's risky, and he has high DPS potential. Not only is it dragon knives, also has the blister. But boom. I just bide my time until I see a large arrow, then I go for the large bolt, and as soon as I see the large bolt, I just drop the full spec. And pretty nice stack. Wasn't able to eat in time. To survive something like that, you have to pre-eat. And definitely got some ballista loot there. Probably about 500, 600k loot. Now I'm currently on a 2 kill streak, and you see God Maul's asked me to good luck here. No, I'm not rushing in this gear, just here to have fun. And right off the bat, some pretty good arrows. Double 70 XP drops, so I go for a bolt, but no potential there, so I don't go in for the spec. And now I'm just trying to reason out, see what my opponent's combo is. And ooh, that was tough. He goes for the huge insta-maul. You can see he goes in on a 9 arrow and actually stacks a 20-23 G-maul, which could have had the potential to kill me. It brought me down to 14 hit points. But unfortunately, the arrow was a little low, so there was no death chance for there. Now for my next fight, I'm fighting level 66 Great Poops. Absolutely perfect name. And off the bat, just trying to feel out my opponent. I took a break while on the kill streak. I got off, got some food, and came back. So my clicks are a bit rusty here. Well, that's alright. Doing a little bit of debo fakes, and you can see terrible death by me right there. Very nice insta-spec. He goes down on the 13 arrow, hits a 15-26 G-maul, and then hits a 30 whack. I did eat after he did the insta-spec in the tick between his whack, but with a 159 ping, did not go off in time. Either way, it shouldn't have been a death by me. If I was more on my toes, I probably could have ate a quicker response and tanked through that. But unfortunate, hate to see it, so the kill streak is back to 0. Now the kill streak is back to 0, and I'm fighting someone who I recently met. They're on my friends list now, called Huge Claps. And interestingly enough, this is not a mage pure. This is a mage pure in disguise. So instead of this person using Staff of the Dead spec to protect from melee damage, they actually use Granite Maul, which is a pretty interesting combo. If you're not suspecting it, it can definitely be dangerous, or at least a strong combo. I think with Fire Surge you can hit 45s, and then, you know, some mid-20s with a G-Maul. You can see as soon as Huge Claps drops to the 39 Surge, he goes in for the instant-maul and does a huge chance. Only hits a 20-0, leaving me on 26 HP, and I believe this person could have probably hit 25 pluses, so I would say that's a huge chance. I wasn't ready for it, didn't eat until a tick after, and definitely some scary stuff. But now it's my turn to be on the offensive, just making sure I stay my HP above the Fire Surge max hit, and just drop bolts whenever possible, and the game plan is to go in on a big bolt. I'm just dropping as many bolts as I can to give me as much potential, and finally, once I get 100 plus bolt, I go in for the Granite Maul, and it's an absolutely nasty stack, 24, 24, 26 in the same game tick. You can see huge claps even gets an E in, but I suspect even from full HP that stack would have taken him out. And actually some decent loot. We got the Occult and 50k cash, so I'm sure it's about roughly 500k, so it's definitely a good fight. Pretty much right off the bat I'm dropping bolts, and I'm lucky enough to get a huge bolt, so I go right in for the combo. Slight misclick, but it's okay. The 2-tick stack gets him out, even with small RNG from the Granite Maul. In this next clip here, I'm on a 2-kill streak, and I decide to step out into Remington to see if there's anyone to fight, and immediately get attacked by a ragger who just goes in for the spec. Nothing too spectacular. Gets some low RNG, so there's no chance of me dying, and I immediately go for the anti. And even though they step back and delay with the Hunter's Crossbow, they didn't eat, so they got stacked out pretty easily. Now we're on a 3-kill streak, and you can see Tickled Biddies, level 64, same as me, attacks me, and we're right at it. Right off the bat, this person's giving me a good fight. They drop a 19 arrow and go in for the 22-13 DDS. Definitely some KO potential there, especially if they had the Granite Maul. Could have easily stacked me out. I see that this person's not eating very often, especially after I bolt and fake the Granite Maul. So I decided to go on a sort of a strange opportunity. I drop a 78 bolt and then go in for the spec. And fortunately, the Granite Maul RNG was on my side, so I was able to get some big hits. Now I'm on a 4-kill streak and I decided to go back to Remington to see if there's anyone to fight. Typically there's only raggers here, and as soon as I step out of the portal, one gets on me. Not what you like to see, but we'll fight him this time. I try to go for an early spec, but unfortunately RNG is not on my side, and this person eats at the same time. Total sack was a 14, 18, 19. You know, there's potential there, but because this person ate, not taking him out this time. Now I'll have to rely on some arrow to whack stacks. Fortunately for me, this person drops the MSB special attack. Definitely looks like it was an accident, unless they're trying to do some next level mind games. And I should be careful because in 10 or 20 seconds they'll have one Granite Maul spec back, which is always important to keep in mind so you don't get caught off guard. This person starts flaming me mid-fight, saying that I'm free, which is rather interesting. Immediately after they say that, easy chance, going for the 0 smack. You can see I go for the risk, I get a big arrow, and then go in for the Maul stack, and there it is, 18-20. I bet he's not too happy about that. Now we're on a 5-kill streak, and you can see that at level 60 attacks me, meaning dibs on loot. Level 60, as per our requirements, is the lowest level I can fight and have it still count towards the kill streak. Fortunately for us, I see the 100 bolt experience drop. I go into the Granite Maul, and this person was not ready whatsoever. They just dropped to the floor as soon as they pulled out the Ruined Crossbow. Now I'm on a 5-kill streak, and as soon as I step out in the wilderness to get my next fight, I actually get PJ'd by someone who's teleblocking and trying to farcast. Kind of interesting. I go for the anti, I get a big bolt, they run in close to go for their spec, and they just played themselves. 200 experience drop, 25, 25, 25, and they got absolutely sad. Looking like a total price check of about 850k, and definitely hurt ego after that one. Now we can get back to the real fight at hand. Del Taco Num 7, probably his favorite order, has asked me to good luck. New addition to the friends list. And I see him pull out his maul, and ooh, scary. I only do a single Quambon to get me back to full HP, and I just hope that he doesn't go for the 20-20-20. RNG immediately turns around to my favor though, and I get a huge bolt going for the full stack, and it's crazy. 25, 21, 28. Absolutely stacked out from full HP. Del Taco was a bit salty after that one, so he asked me for the rematch, and you know, it may be against the rules, but it's agreeable for this one time. He seemed like a good sport and a decently skilled PKer, so it won't be a free kill. I won't count it as boosting this time, even though it is explicitly against our rules. So for this fight here, I decide, because it's a repeat kill, I should switch up the combo, go for the Granite Maul to Tazar Maul combo. Now I'm just trying to dump spec. I see I get the large arrow drop, so I'm hoping there's a second one. I see a second one is also a 19 arrow, so I go in. 18, 17, 19, 18. Not the cleanest stack, but definitely caught him off guard and got the KO. In this next clip here, we have a fight with the Voider, level 78 with Smite, which is unfortunate for me as I'm 13 prayer. I try to let people know that I'm 13 prayer. There's no incentive to Smite other than just kind of being mean. If they're really that hardcore about it, you know, it does lessen my prayers. I noticed that my opponent gets a bolt proc right when I'm going in for a bolt, so I think it's a good time to go in. I probably won't be eating, and that is the case. I get RNG on my side, get a 24-10 hit, or a 24-6 hit, and he doesn't eat, so drops him right to the floor. In this next clip here, I'm on a 10 kill streak, and I see a level 71 attacks me, DDSU for GP. Looks like a pretty juicy opponent, as it looks like they risk spiked manacles, and they have the bronze helmet G. I get a nice arrow hit, and immediately going for the spec, but it was poorly timed on my part, and it wasn't an optimal time to go in, so it didn't stack them out. Now it's just a game of stacking them out. I see I get a large arrow, hit the 17, going for the Obimall, and hit the 25-17 stack, and get the kill. Fortunate for us, we do get Gmaul cash, we do get the spiked manacles, which means I'm not sure what his +1 was, if it was B-ring I or something else, but definitely a juicy kill. And then unfortunately we immediately get TB'd and entangled, so it's time to tank. I see him getting some fire surges from afar. I see he's coming in for the spec, so I go for the 3-tick tank, and relatively easy. I still have plenty of food, so I'm not too worried. And quite an easy escape. Getting a G price check on the loot, we can see the manacles are 1.1 mil, and with the Gmaul cash and the bronze G, we're just hitting that just about a 1.5 mil PK. And so I decided to give Huge Claps a rematch. Technically it's against the rules, but since he's a good PKer, I say why not. Right off the bat, you can see I get a decent bolt, so I go in for the spec and actually misclick and only do 50% spec, and it's incredible RNG. I hit a 27-28, and so I go back to back, get an 18 arrow, go for the bolt, see it's even bigger bolt, and go for the spec, and RNG is crazy, 28-28 stack. I remember him PMing me after, like, how can you get such RNG when I'm hitting zeros? And it's just unfortunate, that's how it goes. I can see there's Hey Daddy here with the Ballista, and I'm hoping this person has risk, since if they have the Ballista, they could potentially have the Granite Maul. Right at the beginning of this fight, I can see this person whips out the Dragon Knives. So the Dragon Knives and Ballista alone is high DPS, but match it with the Granite Maul, and then you have high KO potential along with high DPS. Quite a delayed Ballista to Granite Maul. It would have been good if it was all one tick, but he hits the 30, you know, waits a few game ticks, and then walks in for the Granite Maul spec. I didn't really tank in time, so it could have been a potential chance, but they're relatively low hits. I see I get the huge 133 experience drop. I go in for the Maul, and absolute decimation. He drops the Nice, and we see there's a nice Ballista on the floor. And with the Ballista and the Knives there, we're looking at a nice 650k added to the bank. Now I decided to go back to Remington to see if there's any new people to fight, because I kept finding the same opponents over and over. This person tries to go in on a pretty low arrow and get some pretty low hits, so not the highest KO potential and a rather easy eat on my behalf. Soon after, I get a huge bolt. I see the 151 experience drop, 35 D bolt to the 26-27 stack. That's absolute obliteration. So we've already killed this opponent before, and I remember from previous fights that this person uses Ballista to Gmaul. However, they don't really one-tick the Gmaul. In fact, they do it quite delayed, so it's rather easy to tank. My clicks appear to be rather scuffed at this point, so don't roast too hard. And I see when I get a big bolt, I go in for the Gmaul spec, and it's not stacked perfectly. One goes off, and the second one is a bit delayed. I must have been a bit late on my clicks, or on the switch there. But nevertheless, we still got the kill. He wasn't able to eat through that, and we got another Ballista loot, so another 500, 600k. Now we're on a 15 kill streak, and unfortunately at this hour of the day, not a lot of people are on in PvP. I step into the PvP zone and immediately get rushed by someone named Keikoma. They could have possibly chanced me, but unfortunately they went for the Gmaul whack off of a 1 arrow. It brought me down to 4 HP, and I was able to react and eat. If I didn't eat in time, that 14 whack would have got me, You know, I go in on a 90 experience drop, hit a 21 bolt, and then just hit a 19.4 G-Maul a tick later. Nothing special, but this person didn't eat. There's essentially no one else or no one new to fight at the Grand Exchange, so I decided to check Remington, and luckily for me, instead of just finding a Ragger, I see Nuskas here. I'm playing it a bit cautious because I'm not sure how skilled this player is. They seem to be able to eat and space rather decently, and I notice I get a huge 129 bolt, so I go in for the spec and immediately eat an anti afterwards, and he tries to anti me, and there was potential for him to anti me, but there was no chance there as I had pretty high HP. He had low hits, and I got a single in as well. I decided to go back to the Grand Exchange, and I see that I start getting bolted out from the corner of my screen. No surprise, it was Piss Ant, someone who regularly rags me or just tries to find me and good luck me. Typically they rush me, and this person likes to camp the crossbow. Although they're really relatively easy to kill, they know how to eat, but they don't seem to tank that well or triple E on the tick when they need to. So I just wait for a decently sized bolt. I see the 78, just so I decide to go in, do a little step back in, and 2814 drops him. Decided to step back to Remington, and I found someone relatively near my level named 18K. Right off the bat, I have a decent bolt, so I decided to go in. I kind of messed up my chance and only let one spec go off. Not the best decision on my part, and definitely not wanted. I see my opponent comes in for the DDS spec, and I'm able to get off a large bolt right at the same time. So as soon as I bolt, I go for the Granite Maul and eat in the same time, so I'm able to tank while doing as much DPS as possible. Unfortunately, I chance him really hard, get him down to 2 HP, but it wasn't enough to get the kill. Step back every time I arrow and just wait for the large one, and as soon as I get the 20 arrow, I step back in, drop the 23 for the KO, and relatively easy kill. Didn't even have to one-tick that stack. So now I'm just waiting for a fight, and then I immediately get attacked by some Dragon Knives, and strangely enough, it's the special attack. I guess this person is trying to rush me. They seem like a high level, and it seems like they are using D-Knives to Ballista. Notice here I get a huge bolt. I get a 133 experience drop, and I try to go in for the Granite Maul, but my clicks were off. You can see I get the big arrow, 18 arrow, and I go in for the wall stack, 1825, and that'll get me the kill. Now we are officially on a 20 kill streak. We were able to get a 20 kill streak with only one death so far. You can see now, little Riker attacked me. He has the Anguish D-Knives. This was someone who rushed me earlier. I tank right off the bat and then try to drop a bolt. Notice it's a 33 D-Fire, so I go in for the spec, and boom, caught him off guard. He didn't eat. Something like a 33, 26, 2 stack. Not the biggest, but definitely enough to kill him when he's off guard. I get attacked by someone who's level 54. I guess they thought my risk was juicy and they had a chance of killing me. Because they're such a low level, this kill will not count towards the kill streak, but I thought I would throw it in there anyway, in case you're wondering why I got a random kill. I see the big bolt, going for the spec. Don't even need RNG on my side. This person just gets absolutely deleted. Ironically enough, this person had some of the biggest risk of the day, especially for such a low level. So once again, we're back at Lumbridge looking for a real fight, and I see someone my level. And right off the bat, I see huge bolt. So I go in for the spec, and not enough. I decided to go for the anti-stack. So as he comes in, I hit the 15 arrow. Ryuko comes in with the 1-2, and I hit him with the 6 Obby Maul whack and take him out. Right off the bat, this person drops a huge 29 D-Fire and a 26 bolt, and I'm just not paying attention well enough.
Oh my god! Wow! Oh my god!
And that's it. Got absolutely deleted from the kill streak. And with that, the challenge will be over for the day. I hope you all like this new series. Streak Sundays is something that's been very fun to me. I like to entertain myself by making these type of challenges to keep me motivated and give me a goal to achieve. This time we were able to get to a 23 kill streak or a 22 kill streak with only dying one time before being defeated and losing the whole thing. I think that's pretty good for a first go. Hopefully next time we'll be able to actually achieve that 25 kill streak. I think today wasn't too bad. We got a couple ballista loots, we got some spiked medical loots, we got some ornate maul handle loots, so I wouldn't say we profited, but we definitely came out with some nice juicy bank.